Okay, Ruthie Foster, welcome to Australian Musician.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Before we get started, we got some news overnight about the passing of Roberta Flack. Was Roberta someone whose music affected you growing up?
Very much so. Loved her voice. I still recall my first couple of years watching the Grammys at home, being a kid at home and seeing her win for, I think it was Killing Me Softly, or First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. I still remember her accepting the Grammy for that song. And then growing up later, actually being in New York as a songwriter, trying to pitch songs to her
Huh?
while I was with Atlantic Records. So yeah, huge influence.
Yeah. Who were some of the other artists that inspired you in the early days?
Oh wow. That would be anybody from Phoebe Snow. I love the way she wrote, just beautiful songs. And she played guitar. I love watching women of color play guitar. Sister Rosetta Tharpe was one of my earliest influences. And Janis Ian, of course, another great songwriter. As far as voices, there's always Mahalia Jackson. A lot of the gospel artists I grew up on. Aretha, of course, and a couple of other gospel singers that I grew up listening to. Shirley Caesar, Dorothy Norwood. Um, yeah, all of the big voices. Barbara Streisand. The voices that are trained and voices that come straight out of the church. I love that.
Yeah. So, how did you gravitate to the guitar? Did somebody else in your family play guitar?
No, everybody in my family they were singers. I grew up with a lot of singers in my family. Uh, in fact, uh, singing your own solo in the church where I grew up, it was just a rite of passage. It was just a matter of time before you have to solo in these old churches. But guitar came to me really through osmosis, listening to watching a lot of TV in the 70s, and they had these what they call variety shows, and everybody played guitar in the variety shows. And I listened to a lot of blues. My dad, he's a huge blues fan, and so that brought the guitar straight to my lap. Lightning Hopkins, for one, Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters. And the guitar is more portable. So having to start from piano, which I was playing piano from sixth grade on, but I switched to guitar shortly after that. And it was a lot more portable. So I could play that in a lot of the churches. So that's why I started playing guitar. I was in church.
And when did you know that you wanted to be a performer as a career?
I think I've always known I wanted to perform, even though I was a really shy kid and it didn't come natural for me to be in front of people. But it's something I learned over the years and honestly still getting used to because every audience is different. And I feel like I have something to say and something to prove each and every time I go up in front of people. It's very different, especially with new material, like this new album that I come out just came out with. It was a shift from the norm. I actually co-wrote a lot of these songs. So, and these songs are really close to me. So sharing that in front of people each time I get a chance to stand in front of people, it's okay, what are they going to think of this story?
We should say from the outset, congratulations, because the album you're talking about, Mileage, won a Grammy for Best Contemporary Blues Album. Were you at the ceremony? How did you celebrate?
I didn't make the ceremony this year. The one year I was nominated, this was my sixth nomination. I was just coming off of the blues cruise, a legendary rhythm and blues cruise, and I was at the airport on my layover when we found out. We had just enough time, me and my band and my tour manager had just enough time to sit down and dial it up on her phone and watch the ceremony just in time to watch Taj Mahal win his traditional blues Grammy after being honored with the Lifetime Achievement the night before, huge. And then the contemporary blues category was next, and we got a chance to actually watch the announcement of me winning in real time at the airport, at a bar in Houston Airport at gate C14. And we celebrated at the bar with everybody at the gate. It was just so much energy in the room when that happened, and it was great to just celebrate with a bunch of strangers. We just had fun together,
Yeah.
and it's an honor. It really is to hear my name.
Yeah. Of course, you're coming to Australia in just a couple of weeks. I imagine you'll be focusing on the Mileage album on this tour.
Yeah, we will. I'm coming over with my buddy, my Scotty Miller, my keyboard player. Just to kind of help fill out the songs. And he's a wonderful singer-songwriter himself. So hopefully he'll get a chance to play his own music. We've written together for the album that came out before this one. So we're going to do songs from that one. And definitely, as much as we can get away with, songs from Mileage, the new album.
Yeah. Do you find that the more you play new songs that they develop?
It's very true. They do. And they still are. You caught me just, I'm in my room, my practice room now, and I was just going over a couple of them and realized, it's come across nicely. I can slow it down. I can play around with a few chords for it. Yeah, and it's really true about songs. They kind of morph into who they're gonna be the more you play them in front of people.
Yeah. So, what are your memories of the first time you came to Australia?
Oh, wow. How beautiful it is. And I was just drawn to just the warmth of the people and the reception of the music that I came to play. And that was many albums ago, quite a few albums ago. Um, and I just remember feeling so grounded that my first trip there. I decided to play with no shoes. I took my shoes off because I really wanted to feel close and grounded. And I think that kind of caught on, and I basically had to play without shoes for the rest of the rest of my tour. But I just remember being just warm and hospitable, the people there, and how beautiful it was. And a lot of similarities to my home state here in Texas, as far as the terrain in certain areas too.
Yeah.
I
So,
like that.
what's your goal each time you take to the stage?
You know what? That's a really great question. No one's asked me that. What is my goal? Um, that I remember my songs. I've written quite a few. And if I don't make it up and just, let the divine work through me, really it's is to just remember to have a good time. I had a really great teacher in music school uh, in college, and I remember being really nervous about an audition. I had to go to another town for another city, and he just reminded me, just have fun no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you win or whether you lose. It's just have a good time, and that's what you're gonna remember. So that's what I try to do. Just remember to have a hallelujah time before going on stage.
Do you have any pre-show rituals that you go through?
I really don't. No, it's different for every show. Every show's different. And one thing that I do tend to do, and this is like the last five years or so, I do wait to write a song list, a set list, because I want to feel the energy in the room before I do that. I
Yeah.
want to feel who's there and what does it feel like? What does it sound like out there? And sometimes I'll even walk around the back just to get an idea of who's there. And I will do that. I'll make a set list just before going on. Doesn't mean I'll follow it.
Going back to Mileage, the album was created with Tyler Bryant as producer, and his wife Rebecca from Luck and Poe was a contributor. What did they bring to the project that was maybe different to the way you normally worked?
They brought themselves. They brought so much energy. It's great working with people who are so prolific. These guys write a lot, and they work together seamlessly. Rebecca being a great songsmith, guitar player, um, manager. She's the way she even manages she's very skillful in how much she plays and where she plays and I really admire that in a young woman in music. Tyler, to me, he's just, my little brother from East Texas. And we we all got along pretty smoothly on the first go. I just basically took a flight there. My manager introduced us and over the email and I flew into Nashville where they are, and we sat and got to know each other over coffees and just decided to write on the first day. From day one, every month I'd fly into Nashville and we'd put a song together. Usually two, sometimes two. So yeah, they brought a lot of they brought the youth. They brought that young stuff that I needed, that hot sauce. They put a lot of that into the songs that I would have basically gone a totally different way. And what I love about Tyler is he's got an incredible ear as a producer. And I'm so grateful that both he and Rebecca just made time to help me finish this album. There were a lot of things going on in their lives musically too, and they managed to make a space for me to make sure that this album not only got finished, but was signed with Sun Records right in the middle of writing it and then released. So it was huge to have that happen within a really, really short amount of time. And I'm so grateful to them. In fact, I think Tyler's birthday is this month. His birthday is today. So yeah.
What is it that you like about collaboration, and who's on your collaboration wish list?
Woo! That's a good question. Oh my gosh. I'll just go straight to that. Who's on my wish list? Oh, it's huge. Taj, I'd love to work with Taj Mahal. He and I have been talking about that for years, so maybe we're getting closer to making that happen. Um, I still run into people, and I'm still touring with my band and going to spots, and I just come from New York, and there were a couple of people there I'd love to work with. Basically, not necessarily musicians or songwriters, but someone who might be I just want to hear what we would do together. Christone Kingfish.
Huh?
Well, I love Kingfish. I love to work with him sometime. Um, yeah, it's a list that's still growing, actually.
Yeah. Have you thought much about the next album, or is that a bit too far away at the moment?
No, it's not that far away. I'm probably going to try to start working on new songs in the summer. So that's what's on my calendar anyway. But who knows? I may write while I'm in Australia on my own and then see what happens.
Yeah. Tell me about the main instruments you use on stage, or the ones you'll be bringing out here to Australia.
Well, my main instrument is usually a Godin, like this Godin guitar that's behind me. It's a special Fifth Avenue um, edition, and I had it souped up quite a bit. It's got special pickups on it, but I'm not bringing her. That's Pearl. I name all my guitars. It's Josephine, Rebecca back there. So yeah, this one. I think we've arranged for me to come to Australia and play one of the oh gosh, Cole.
Oh, Clark?
It's yeah, the Cole Clark guitar,
Yeah.
the true hybrid.
Yeah.
I think they're setting me up for one of those. So I want to
Yeah,
I want to see what that's made of.
yeah,
So that's what I'll be playing while I'm down there. The Cole Clark True Hybrid Guitar.
yeah. It's a wonderful instrument.
Yeah.
Um, who taught you to fingerpick?
I taught myself. Yeah, I'm still working on my finger picking. Um, Thanks for pointing that out because everybody has a style, and I wanted to play banjo growing up. So I was working on the the claw picking, and I just couldn't quite get that down, and it developed into my own style. So yeah, I taught myself.
You also studied audio engineering, I think, in college. How important is the sound check for you? Are you more fussy than others?
I'm not that fussy, but I do know the difference and when something's not right, whether it's equipment or something's a little off as far as the room and how to treat the room and how to treat my voice, even, when it comes to microphones, I do know the difference. Over the years, I've run across sound guys who try to give me a hard time until they realize I do know what I'm doing. And I've been out here for more than a minute.
Yeah.
But the reason I do remedy that by always showing up with I have my own sound person. My tour manager is my sound. She's my sound goddess. So she knows my sound in and out. We work together. However, I'm going to be working with a local Australian tour manager and sound guy while I'm down there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like at packing? Are you good or do you always forget something?
It's funny you should ask that. I have a list. I have a list I'm putting together right now, and I'm usually pretty good. And then it changes. But every tour is different. I have two suitcases always open and loaded in my closet so that I can go between the two of different sizes, and they all have the same basics, but they're different sizes for different occasions.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to most about the Australian tour?
Oh, I'm looking forward to being down there and in really nice weather. I hope. Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, yeah, here in Texas, we're between freezing to rain to a little bit of sunshine back to freezing. So it'll be nice to be in uh weather that's, right there and it's easy to be in and I can be outside. And I do love that about being in Australia.
Yeah. What are you most proud of in your career so far?
I am most proud of I'm closest to my latest project, which is in this particular album means a lot to me. I'm very proud of that. And I'm most proud of the fact that I've been able to stay in this for this long. This is my 10th album, and I had no intentions of getting this far. It was just about, well, we can try this music thing for a while, traveling. I was doing a little bit of audio tech and things that were closer to me staying home before really jumping into touring. And honestly, I did not like touring starting out. I didn't like not being home. I'd still have my days where it's not ideal, but I do know it's part of it. And I surprised myself, that I'm out here still doing this. And for the most part, I do love being able to share mm, my story with people and realize that my story connects to a lot of other people's stories. And when folks come up to me at the merch table and remind me of that it's really just a human story. Their story is close to my story, or they know someone, or they're just happy to hear me actually open up with myself, just open up and let people in and let people know who I am and what I'm about. It's what these songs do. These songs really tell people about who I am. like 6 Mile Water. That's I grew up in this little place in the central Texas, and they called this area 6 Mile. And to get a chance to even sing about that is huge to my family, first of all. They get such a kick out of that. And to know that my family tells me that now everybody knows about 6 Mile, thanks to you. That's cool.
Yeah,
And I'm proud of that.
yeah. Well, Ruthie, it's been great to chat, and we look forward to seeing you down here very soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.